Yes, sir.
What's up?
Episode 19, fellas.
Still rocking, baby. Still rocking.
Still going.
Man, what about that video? It seems like that last one we watched, it couldn't get any better. And then it's this week. You got, there was the teaser car with Jackie. You got Alan Pittman and the Regal.
Kevin Scales with the little front tires.
Yeah.
Well, that Milton and the Camaro.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah. And I bet that was Jimmy Hall that was running Jackie. I'm going to say he's probably on about a 547 or 8. It was a little cooler air. He's always 540s, 550s, seemed like, no matter what time of year it was. But
what was really cool also was it was at night. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We're not used to that, are we?
Not used to that, yeah. All that racing happened way before my time, I guess. So
yeah.
I think that might have been the Monza, because when the camera panned back, I think that was my dad that was walking back towards the water box. So I knew when I saw the car number 540, that was the car number I used to run on the Monza. So I think that might have been me in it. So showing my
little blast from the past.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was cool. So I guess really tonight we just want to try to do a recap, just to review the year. We talked about doing a top 10 moments, but there's so many things we could talk about. So we really weren't going to do a top 10, just kind of go. And we had thankful Chad and Dallas come on. They can kind of help us. And I'm sure CJ will come in with us and add some insight too. But before we start there, I was going to talk about KB and the week he had last week at Immokalee. He had won in Buddy's Camaro for $25,000, and then he runners up the next day in Ivy's Dragster for $51,000, and then today we find out that
we got some live action reports to give here.
Yeah. Breaking news. We need to cross the bottom of the screen. But yeah, he wins in Ivy's car today for $25,000. So he's had a pretty good last 4 or 5 days for sure. But
he's gonna need an armored truck to follow him home with.
That's right. Maybe we should follow him behind him with some of those dollar bills.
Friends, holding money's coming unstowed.
That's right. That's right.
Didn't Casey Sims' kid do runner-up or 2 runner-ups up there in Florida this last couple of weeks in the junior Bew?
Yeah, Obo. Yeah. I want to mention him for sure. Oh, Tom, start us off with some highlights from. If you want to start with a pro class, or we can kind of mix them.
Well, we can start off. When we got to talking about doing this, I was like, man, can we even fill a show up with this? Do we need to get something else to go with it? But when you really get to writing down all year long the things that happen and the things that people done, there's really a lot to talk about. A lot of people had success, and to me, being involved in the pro class, I think that the points chase down to the wire, you had so many people in the mix of everything, the way it shaped up. You had there you had Austin Durham, Dallas, me, Dave Brown. Everybody had a shot at it. We went into the last race and it was open to anybody. And Dave Brown, he about took it. He wanted it and tried to take it, and then there's so many stories you can take with that. You had it got down to 3, him and Dale Maddox. Dale Maddox just had put his motor. He had oil leak, a new motor, and had an oil leak. They over there repairing that thing and got him going, and then he was walking around over there all day long with his chest bowed out like he was there to do something, and he made it. He was able to beat Dave, which I'm over there hanging on the fence, about to cry, and I ended up. It worked out for me, And then, when he comes around there, and then old Cody's just riding along there, and he, wins the race. And I just think that whole scenario with the points in the pro class was pretty awesome. But, you get down into the foot brake, and I think Chad can probably keep everybody informed what went on there. There's a lot of hot stuff going on there,
Before you get there, I know we kind of had sort of highlighted, each week when we'd have people on during the season, looking at the points and how it was shaping up as the year went on. And I always kept seeing like David Hall, Kia, Joey Dotson's always right around there. And it seemed like he's waiting for one of them guys to make a run and kind of closing the gap with y'all, And,
yeah. You just need that one. You need that 1 week, that one breakout week. And as close as everything was, all it would have took is that 1 week, for somebody to make a move that it'd been hard to, because and honestly, what Dave did, that was rough. I'd have loved to, been in your shoes, but at the same time, Tom, I didn't want to be in your shoes. No way. Because it's totally out of your control at that point. Yeah.
I don't like hanging on the fence, wishing bad on nobody. You know what I mean? I really don't.
Yeah.
But for my sake, I was more, man. As the season pass comes along with that, there was a lot that went winning there. It ain't just to say, hey, I'm number one. It was like I'm in it for the financial part of it too, and then so it fell in my lap or on my side of the fence. That's just like we go out there and race, and sometimes we drive good and it don't fall on our side, and sometimes it does, and it's just how it is. We enjoy it. We'll keep going back, doing it again.
But going back to what Dallas said about that 1 week though, but man, it can also do the complete opposite. Because am I correct? Am I thinking like Kip wins with the second or third race?
Yeah.
We had like 2 or 3 races left, and he wins, and then he takes the lead, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes back the following points race and loses first round, and you and Dallas and Dave, y'all all had a successful day. So it dropped him all the way back to like fourth, and it made a big swing from 1 week to the next.
Yeah,
yeah, that's crazy, and like what Tom said about the care to be a track champion or chase the local points, and people are put effort into traveling and chasing money, and there's nothing wrong with that. It still can be accomplished, but I think the drive to still be a track champion is still there, strong. I feel like obviously what we're fortunate to deal with at Greer, makes for that. It still drives you to be that track champion. You still want that honor, But another highlight I thought of was and I'm gonna put Dallas on the spot, but Dallas' season itself, I think you had 6 wins and a runner-up at Greer.
Yeah, Greer. Yeah,
you did well outside of Greer too. But just sticking with Greer, that's one of them. And me and you've talked about it. If you could draw a season up, that's and somebody told you, hey, you're going to win 6 races or be in 7 finals. You're going to be like, yeah, I'll take that any day, So that's definitely I feel like a highlight that needs to be.
Oh yeah. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you do a three in a row over there stretch? Didn't you hit 3 weeks in a row? You won.
Yeah, earlier in the year, I'd won 3 weeks in a row, and then later on in the year, I won 1 week, and then the following week I was runner-up the following week after that. So it was a good year. I won on the wrong weeks. That's the way I look at it, But the way that the points work at Greer, I won 1 points race, and I was a buyback. So it's like, you'd love to have those rounds back. You're not going to get them back, and that's in your mind the whole. Going throughout the year, like, man, I gave up 45 points that day or 40 points that day. You know, like, love to have that one back, you know, but you can't. So at the end of the day, like I told my dad, I remember we were going to Greer, I think the first week we were riding over there, and I said, you know, I'm just going to go over there, and my goal is to just win races this year. And the points are what they are because I can't control the points, you know, and, you know, I can't control every run I make down the racetrack, but I have some say-so on what's going on at the racetrack while I'm going down it, you know. But that was my goal, was just to go win races, and whatever happened. And, you know, I'm very fortunate that I had such a good year. And, you know, but the thing is, like the way this sport works, you can go from like up here to like down here real quick because, like, you know, 2 weeks from now, guess what? I hadn't won a race at all, you know, next in 2025. So, and I may not win one in 2025, you know, so you're like, oh my gosh, you know, how am I going to, you know, am I going to get another one? You know, is that going to happen? You know, and I've been back racing now for like 3 years, and I've had a really good 3 years. I've had a great time racing. Like I've had more fun these 3 years racing than I did all the years past of me racing. Like just a way better time. Really have enjoyed myself. But, you know, I look back at every year and I feel like I've gotten a little bit better. I've done a little bit better. I've gotten a little bit smarter with the way I've been driving. But, you know, I don't know how I'm going to top, you know, this year and what I did. So, but I appreciate it a lot.
I mean, I guess really another thing was Shane's performance at both the 10Ks. I mean, we could go on and talk about it, but you could stop right there. But, you know, he just showed up, showed out. I mean,
well, and not just his performance at the 10Ks, but if you go back, I mean, Shane doesn't race every week. I mean, like you look at how much he raced this year. You know, he won the 2 10Ks at Greer, but then on top of that, I know he was. Did he win somewhere else or runner up somewhere else?
Union, he won.
He won. Yeah, I runner up to him at Union. Yeah, and that was a pretty decent race, good payout race. But then he was deep in the rounds in Virginia.
Yeah,
I know.
You know, I think there was 2 days there he was doubled and carried like both good. Yeah. You know, just made a ton of rounds. Just maybe not the money he was looking for. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, he had a good year just to be no more than he probably raced, you know.
Yeah. Chad, jump in there.
I was just the first time. I mean, I know y'all talked about Shane, but you know what he accomplished. But with the other hype and stuff that was going on, and a couple of other things, the one other thing that jumped out at me is I think the Bales, Thomas Bale and his wife, whoever was supposedly claiming Shane in the Calcutta. I think they won more money in them 2 races than I won all year. I think on the Calcutta.
Oh, Fluffy.
Fluff, yeah.
They did well. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that goes along with that 10K, and that's me personally, but that quick 16, return of the quick 16 was cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Yeah.
So, and it was cool the way it was laid out. You know, it wasn't just, you know, all run field. It was 8 dragsters, 8 door cars, and how far the dragsters, of course, but how far the door cars have come, you know, motor-wise, you know, cars such as that coming back to Greer. It was just cool. It was really cool to see. The burnout thing was cool. You know, that was a neat deal. Jump in there, one of y'all. Somebody add to it.
Well, like, I mean, the quick 16 deal. I mean, I kind of felt like the track was going to be great for that deal, but I mean, I kind of got like a honorable mention deal here with like just for Greer in itself. Like, I mean, KB to go over there and run like high 3s, not just at the quick 16 race, but like at just a normal bracket race when he came and tested and stuff. No problem at all. But it's that way every single week at Greer. Like you don't have to worry about the track. It's always going to be good, you know. Yeah. But I mean, that's one thing. Like not just about the racing or the classes or anything, but Greer in itself and the racetrack that we have to race on every single week. So,
I thought was Larry Roberts comes over there the second one. I'm thinking he'll sort of be detuned, and what he lays down like 385, I think, or something like that. I mean, no problem at all.
I think that was the last one. That was the only one I actually got to attend, and him and Shannon both were at it. So that was actually the third race.
Yeah, because the first one
got rain out.
Yeah,
we had a rain out. Yeah.
But
that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the first one didn't happen. Okay, I knew the third one on the schedule was the only one I was able to attend. So
yeah. I was looking. I think me and Tom had talked some about the old guys sort of flexing their muscles this year. We had. You talk about Fred West, Bruce Patterson, Turtle had it picked up a win. I think Hank won a race, was in the finals, I believe. I think he won. And I know there's others I'm missing, and this is more geared to the pro guys. But I thought that was cool. These guys still getting after it.
Well, and then we talk about Dallas's incredible season. On Galt, he looked like the man of old. I mean, he just. I talked to him earlier today, just get a check on how many races he won, and he told me, he said, "Well, I got a 6th grade education, and I didn't really count that high, but I think I won 5 races and 3 runner-ups." He thinks, but he might have got more than that. He don't know.
Yeah.
But he's over there double clutching in both classes and just making it look easy, and just whooping it. And like I said, he come up when we get to the foot brake. He about got a championship in that and was denied, for the foot brake. But the old guys and Fred West, he's one of them guys that he'll just lay it to you. I mean, he's up there, mingles at the front of the line with me a lot of times, and I hate to see him get up there. You know what I mean? And he can flat get it done.
Oh, I know me and Dallas have talked over the season this year and about this person, but I thought Renee had a good first year.
Yeah.
Really, I know she's did a little bit of the sportsman foot brake stuff, but like really to actually drive something obviously as fast as it is, the dragster, and step in. And I just thought she had a great season. Definitely something to build on, going forward. Dallas, you want to pick up and run with that? Because
she definitely did. And how you can how you can tell that she's gonna do well is she's very hard on herself. Like she is, and Chad can probably speak on that. Like I can tell she's hard on herself. Like she's super hard on herself. And I think her time's coming. It's like I said earlier in the year, like her and I ran one week, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't getting there. And I got this thing to the wood, and I'm like, what is going on here? And but like I said, her runs will the good runs will start to fall her way, and that's just the way this sport is. I mean, it's gonna be back and forth, and but sooner or later, those good runs that you're putting down, those 12 and 15 packages are gonna fall your way, and the 00 packages ain't gonna be there, So, but I can tell when I've talked to her, she's definitely hard on herself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like you got to be. That's the only way you're going to get any better. If someone else is hard on you, and you don't have the drive and the determination to be better yourself, then sooner or later you're going to get burnt out doing it, because you're gonna feel like that you don't have the support there, and 2 you don't really have any strive to do better. So
go ahead, Chad.
Well, I sit here listening to what Dallas is saying. It's making me think about. I love my dad. I ain't trying to make it sound like I'm bashing him when I say this, but you know, I mean, I can think about racing and playing golf and basketball, and you know, you're out there, feel like you're doing your best or trying your best.
Yeah.
And I'm hard on myself too. Everybody knows that, but you know, my dad comes along like, you know, I'm hitting the golf ball bad or I'm racing bad, and he'll just look at you and say, "Well, do better." Well, I mean, don't you think I'm already trying to do better?
Yeah. He's not trying to help you. He's not telling you how to do better. He's just telling you to do better.
Yeah. So, you know, just do better. So, you know, but no, I mean, yeah, I mean, Renee's, and, you know, from an outsider who's never raced, you know, a car of that, and even maybe somebody that's listening here, you think whatever, you know, until you get in the car and have to do it. You know, it's one thing to stand on the sideline. I mean, she's watched me race. She's watched my dad race however many years. You know, but it's different when you have to actually get in the car and do it. So, you know, I think Tom's even mentioned that his sister, like, you know, why'd you do that? Well, then you get your tail in the seat and see what you do or whatever. So, I mean, but yeah, she's still got a lot to learn. I mean, I ain't trying to. I'm not trying. I guess I'm trying to motivate her and, you know, praise her at the same time. But, you know, there's still a lot she needs to learn. There's strategies and stuff that's involved that she doesn't know. I mean, Daddy's car's still pretty good. I mean, I was fortunate enough to climb in there at the end of the year at Shadyside, win the finals. So, I mean, the car's capable, you know, but there's still things that you know that we learn over time. See this, you know, did a lot of seat time in, and you know, she keeps trying, and I mean, my dad will keep providing a ride for her as long as she wants to drive it. So, you know, I want to see her win. I want to see her get to the finals and, you know, boost your confidence and see where it goes from there.
She'll make it.
But I remember, like, when I was growing up, like, to kind of speak on what you were talking about, Chad, like, I remember growing up and I was little and I'd get so mad. My dad would lose and I'd be like, "What? I don't understand." And he would tell me, he'd say, "Oh, it's easy to race on this hill up here. You know, it's easy to race to race from standing on this hill. You know, totally different going down the racetrack. You know, way different." So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll just hit this and I'll be done with that part. But, you know, I was watching how she was staging the car and mashing the buttons. So, you know, obviously she sit there and hit the practice tree. Well, that's one thing to just stand there and mash a button and hit the practice tree, but to actually make yourself stage right and do it, you know, what needs to be done, that part, you know, it didn't register with her some. So I mean that, you know, she made great improvements there again, but there's still a lot to learn. So
it looks like the race is slowing down for her too. You know, the more laps she makes, it looks like things. But to crawl in something like that fast and to never, I mean, that's kudos to her. But to wrap up some of the pro stuff, we're going to end with Tom's winning the track championship and then going to Montgomery and winning the WRA. That's. I mean, we've talked about it, and I don't want to not take it away from you. Not beat it to death, but that was a real cool moment in time.
Well, it wasn't really. I mean, it was good for me, and it helped me a bunch. But I mean, I feel like, man, they was hollering Greer Dragway, and then the Fatrabbit stick show. I mean, I hope I represented well for Greer, and I know my little interview I let them know by George. Greer is where it's at, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If you want to deal with the bad boys, roll in over there, and you'll be a better racer when you leave. You know, you race over a few weeks, you'll figure it out, or have your head tucked between your tail, and you'll probably go somewhere else and win.
Chad, you want to jump on foot brake some of the moments that you have?
Well, I ain't trying to echo or repeat everything that's already been said, but, you know, like a comment Dallas made a while ago, being 7 finals in a year. I mean, that's awesome. And you know, I have a lot of the same thoughts. You thought, you know, how many, you know, what am I going to do this year?
don't come for you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
That's it.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
I think you jump up and start dancing, boy.
There was I mean, seriously, I mean, I know this may sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but I really felt like I had an off year for me at Greer. I looking up all the results and stuff from this page, which I already knew, but I mean, I was in two finals the whole season over there. So, kudos to Dallas to being in 7 of them. Kudos to Harold Galt being in, what'd you say, 5 and 3, so that's 8 or whatever. So, it's given me an appreciation to make sure I don't take it for granted that, if you get to a final, you better appreciate it because, I mean, and again, I know to try to bring it in perspective. I mean, I was in 2 finals. I mean, there's people that raced that wasn't in any finals. So, I'm trying to keep it there, like I said, in perspective. But yeah, I can echo a lot and not to repeat some of our previous shows, but they're getting the foot brake points. That last points race, that was it was cool. I mean, obviously it worked out for Phil the way, the big prize of it, but they're getting the storylines. I mean, I had an opportunity, really coming into the race, Cody had an opportunity and I never even looked really much past myself and Cody. And next thing I know, Harold Galt's got a chance, and then he's marching through the field there. So, yeah, I mean, that last point race was definitely exciting. I mean, I hope, I know the people on the outside watching. I hope the Adam, whoever's doing the announcing stuff. I think they were keeping everybody up to date, and bringing in the scenarios and what needed to happen, or what's going to happen if this happens. So, you can't ask for much more exciting than that and that last points race from a season standpoint.
I see Trent saying that Greer's always tough, and he's right for sure. You talking about Phil, and we talked about it when we had him on and interviewed him. But it seemed like he had finished second several times. He's always right there in the mix and always, been a thorn in everybody's side. But for him to finally etch himself as a track champion there at Greer, that was a cool moment. And you talked about how it played out and all. And that was the ending to the points was really cool. Bristol's spoiler role in all that was, and that's piggybacking off of what you're talking about. But her role in that
great
though. Yeah, that last race, and for her not to really swap feet all year and to roll in there. I mean, y'all had been, probably been down the track, how many times, 15 races or better, and here she is kind of rolling in there, doing that. But yeah, that was neat. Sammy, the rattlesnake, I rolled with him, and my boy won the bad 16. I think it was his second 10K. Is that right?
Yeah, Brett Hite got the first one, and then he got the second one. Yeah.
And then he backs it up with the turkey trot win.
Oh, yeah.
And that's like what Chad, you and Dallas were saying. You up here and then you can fall off. And Sammy talked on the show about really not having a great season, but I mean, to win that bad 16 and in the turkey trot race, no, it's maybe not have its luster it used to have, but I mean, it's still a turkey trot race, and it carries that season's pass. I mean, it's still, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had told us he had won 4 of those. That's cool.
That's cool.
But
that whole group, that whole STI group, I mean, with Michael Smart too, and then Austin and Pro, I mean, they all do well. Like all 4 of them do.
Yeah.
They really do. Yeah.
That was lead into that, Dallas. I had kind of jotted down Mike Smart. I had mentioned obviously Chad. I thought Scott Smith and then Steve Wagner, all had really good seasons.
Yeah.
No, they may not turned on, had the X amount of wins and runner-ups, but I thought they had good, solid seasons. Trent was talking here. I feel like he's made a lot of improvements in his game, and I think it's something that can carry him into 2025. Kind of like Renee, we talked about her. I feel like he's kind of allowing you guys, some of the veteran guys, to push him and step in that direction. But
a little behind the scenes on that. So he's making some changes to his truck over the winter as well. So be on the lookout for next season. He's
he's one of them guys that's got that drive, and in this game, you might not have everything finely tuned, or you might be lacking that one good converter, that good carburetor, or that one missing link. But he seems like the type of guy that he's going to work toward getting all the pieces, all the stuff. He's got that drive to win, and you got to have it. You got to have that drive. You got to. Some people eat, sleep it, and think about it all week long, and then go over and do it on Saturday, and then next week they thinking about it again. And some people just load it up and they head it to the house before the round's over. You know what I mean? They don't. I come back. I don't whine and cry and pout. My sister might say differently, but I want to know why I messed up. I hear Dallas say stuff like, he don't even know it, but he motivates people like me. You talk about when I leave the track or leave the house, I'm going to win, and you got to have that. And I don't, you confident, not cocky attitude when you go to the races, and it all plays a big role in being successful.
You got to go to win, but you got to also know you can get beat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you got to be humble when you do get beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to think of some more highlights we had. Well, you touched on Galt. I think he actually did it 2 different times. He was in the finals of Foot Brake and Pro in the same night twice this year.
Yeah.
And going back to we talk about our tough group, I mean that's 2 different worlds. And I mean Harold's, he's just still getting after it at his age,
Oh, yeah.
You rewind back, you're like, yeah, he was good in his time. You hear that a lot, with all kind of sports. Well, so-and-so was in their time. Yeah, the big debate with LeBron and MJ. He did it in this era. Here's Harold doing it, 80s, 90s, and here we are the 2020s, and he's still, getting after it. Ronnie Forster was another one that I think Foot Brake and Sportsman in the same night at least once. But y'all jump in there. I didn't want to take over on that.
Yeah, but like Harold, I just looked, and Harold won the stock championship in '98. But he had been winning races, like you said. I know in the '80s and probably the '70s too. That's pretty cool.
He's fun to talk with. He'll get talking about. I think when we was at Union, we was up on the bleachers and just jawboning about over the years, and he'll get to telling old war stories about different things he's encountered and stuff. And if you ever get an opportunity to sit and just jawbone with him a little bit, he really is a character.
And he's just Harold. It's not like he's trying to put on for anybody.
Yeah.
He's rubbed elbows with some of the you're talking what you said, stock Dallas.
Yeah, stock.
That's Bertozzi. That's I mean, you got guys that was like were elite, or you consider elite that you hear names, and I mean, I'm sure that was like Scotty Stillings and some of those guys. Just thinking back, and the Cummins, and here's Harold, which we know what Harold can do, but it's like nothing fades. I don't phase him. Like he don't care. It's
and he jump. He's forever. He jump in and out of different cars and do the same thing. He'll find his spot on the tree or whatever he does, and he'll. It don't matter if it leaves. If it's a fast, slow, or if it leaves with the wheels in the air, or if it leaves a dang, something short of a street car, he'll get the job done.
Yeah, I always enjoy talking to Harold, but let me back up to if what I've been told is true, and I think it is. Harold is the reason why some of the events are run different than they used to. So it's my understanding, they used to, be like a 2-day event, like a Saturday, Sunday event that like a pro-am or divisional. They would let them run on Saturday to qualify. Well, then they would give them one more qualifying run on Sunday morning and then go into eliminations. Well, Harold would just wait and show up Sunday morning. He'd race at Greer or somewhere on Saturday, go to the event on Sunday, get his one qualifying hit, and then he wins the championship that year. And then the next year they come out, well, no, now you've got to qualify on Saturday and then run first round on Sunday. But, and they're it's my understanding it's because of Harold. So, if that's a lasting memory that he had, or a change that's been made because of, I think that's great. But no, I like, I like, he was running a Tim Minton's Nova there. He put a lot of laps on that car at the end of the year, but not only him, but going back to what we was talking about earlier about the older guys. I mean, I don't know if you listened to the show or not, but Ken Mertens, I mean, he was jumping in that car, going laps, making rounds as well. And then Fred West, they all parked together there. But, I like listening to Harold because Brandon will come over there, Brandon Knight will come over there, and Harold will get to riding him and stuff. And, Brandon will say something, and Harold's like, "Nah, don't do that. You need to do this." I mean, he's kind of picking at him a little bit on some of it, but then Harold just, how he laughs, that old grin, and he's just giving Brandon, kind of giving him a little bit of a hard time, but it's in good gesture. But no, I like Harold. Me and Harold talked a lot. I've always looked up to Harold. So
yeah. Oh. I guess jump into some of our sportsman highlights if you want to. Tom, you got anything there?
Yeah. We got Cody Spears with another solid season in sportsman. He's won the sportsman foot brake and also picked up a winning pro. He did it all. He definitely can do anything. He's kind of like Gold. He can jump in a slow car. You wonder, how's he drive that 880 car that he jumps in this and then he jumps in that, and he usually gonna find a tree and be spot on. One of the biggest stories is old Popcorn winning 3 races. David Leopard, he's probably gonna get driver of the year, and but we're gonna be running and gunning for him next year. We're gonna have a call out.
Yeah.
Call out night.
That'll be all right.
I think he may not have won the most races, but he had the highest winning percentage.
That's right. That's right.
But you talk about sportsmen, that Michael Baker, he just, I think he's had to run Ronnie over a time or two in the finals. He did his brother-in-law.
Yeah, he dabbled in the foot brake class. It was in the
foot brake.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to work off my memory. I still think he made a final this year. Now, I looked through all the results that I could see, but I still think he was in the finals of foot brake at some point this year. But anyway, Ronnie or somebody might chime in, but I still think I couldn't find the results, and maybe they're in my memory ain't what it used to be, but I still think he was in a final.
Going back to Brandon, Chad, you talking about Brandon. I think he's really obviously with tutelage of Galt, but I mean I think he's cemented himself as a pretty good contender in that class himself. I mean he's dabbled in the foot brake too, but I think he's really really done well since he's been around and stuff. So
I don't know what happened to him. One night he run in the pro class. Just it was one of them. It wasn't a points night because he beat me like second round, and
I think he beat me third round. And there again, I thought he went on to the finals again that night. But
he got down to 3, and then I can't remember, but it was one of them moments, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and he'd have been sitting there in the finals. But I think he was done. But he was first time he ever used a box, and I think he was looking good.
That goes back to one of them moments where Harold was giving him a hard time. And he's like, he says he thinks he comes out first time in pro and gets all the way there again. I thought he went to the finals, but senior finals where he's like he thinks he's got it whooped now. He said, boy, does he have a lot to learn. I mean, I know Harold. Harold would even run Brandon's car some, and so Harold would run it in foot brake or whatever. He would go in there and deep stage it.
Yeah.
And then Brandon's shallow stage, and that was always a big topic of conversation or a topic he would use to rally him. He's if that Brandon would just deep stage that thing, he could do better. But Brandon's like, nah, I don't want to. So I would get caught up in some of their, they're joking and ribbing with each other. So, but it was all in fun. So,
the sportsman class though. I mean, there were some weeks I counted like 12 cars. I think around there because they ran like right before the juniors, so I would always I'd be rushing it around there, and then I would see like how many cars were there. And I think one week I counted 12 or so, may have been more than that. But I mean that's pretty good,
So it's grown, for sure. Yeah,
definitely. What were you saying, Chad? I'm sorry.
I was just nothing else. The one thing about Brandon, I could always tell when sportsman, I could always tell when it was Brandon coming down the track. His car just sounds than the rest of them. So he made a lot of laps. So I mean, he definitely did. I going back to what Rusty said earlier, if you do like a most improved award, I would give it to Brandon for in class.
I know I believe the night that he was in the semis and pro, I think I won that night, and I think I was set up for the bye, and I rolled around there, and I was like, I thought he was a foot breaker, I thought we were waiting on somebody else, and they were like, no, he's in pro, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, so, but that is cool.
If I'm not mistaken, that coulda, shoulda, woulda, I think it was he might have broke out or something, but he had the advantage on the tree. It was like I said, it was a winnable lap, and just it was kind of one of them deals that he could have been sitting there with you. I thought that was pretty awesome the first time he jumped out there and done it. Now I don't think he's run pro since then, but
he did it a couple of more times on the year.
He did.
Yeah.
Another one I think in that class is Chad Lister. I feel like he's always been a pretty tough draw over the years. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, did he not win? Was in the finals maybe in sportsman and foot brake in the same night as well. So there's a handful of guys that's doubled up. True. But
and there's another guy I can always tell when he's coming down the track too. His car has that unique sound. But I know me and Chad's out to where we can talk to him. He's kind of a quiet guy. He don't say much, but there again, I guess sharing the same first name. But I'd always make sure to try to speak to him and encourage him and go. And I don't know that he necessarily had his best year this year as compared to some of his previous years, but yeah, he's still always he's a tough out in the sportsman class regardless. So, and like I said, I think he did runner up to Phil one night runner-up in foot brake, runner-up in sportsman in the same night. But looking at the results, it was Field that he run against in the foot brake final.
Okay. Dallas, you want to jump on the juniors, like touch on them?
I got a few notes here. People that had great year. I mean, Kaylin had a great year. I don't know. I think how many finals was she in?
She's in 4, yeah.
4. Yeah. I mean, that's a good year. That's a really good year. Yeah. I think Hannah Lindsay, she had a good year. Also I think she won 3 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, I'll let you continue on. I had wrote down here like there was like a streak there. I think Rodney had like early in the year, Rodney Hyatt had won 2.
Yeah.
And runner up 1 in a 3-race stretch.
Yeah.
And I think you're talking about Hannah. I want to say she was 3 in a row, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think she did win 3 in a row. Yeah.
But sure, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then I mean, of course, Will had his year, thank goodness this is his last one. I mean, I shouldn't say thank goodness because then I got to deal, deal with the next year, but yeah, maybe it won't be so bad for Alden now, right? So
that was cool to cap his career off, though.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be any other way, at all. Right. So, but I mean, it was cool. Like Macy got a runner up, I think, this year. That's really neat, to start racing and go out there and at least do well, because it's tough on the kids, man. It is. It's, and I don't want to say it's heartbreaking, but it's like, gosh, you just want it to fall their way, and sometimes it just don't. Yeah. It don't, And those darn little junior dragsters are just, they'll keep you up at night, and then they'll wake you up in the morning thinking about it,
Yeah. And then you get a text from another fellow and asking for advice and what should I do here? And
for sure. But
that's usually me texting you, not you.
Yeah. But it's definitely a different world. The juniors are a totally different world, but I wouldn't change anything about it at all, and I probably stress out a lot more about it than I need to. And I drive Danielle and my dad crazy talking about junior dragsters. And Alden's like, whatever, Dad, you just need to leave it alone. And I'm like, I don't know. I think I need to do this. I think I need to do this. And so,
well,
I see what Trent said that Bristol got her first win this year in juniors.
Yep, she did.
That's right.
She did get her first win this year. That's right. Yeah.
And she's really improved a lot herself over the. I think she's raced maybe 3 years now. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
It seemed like her and Kaylin started about the same time, maybe.
But Bristol doesn't race every week.
No,
she doesn't race. She doesn't race every week. She's got a I guess a cheer schedule.
Yeah, and yourself, if it's green, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like when she leaves the start line, if it's green, it's usually pretty good. She's usually close red or, and Alden. I know you don't really, you're like me. You don't want to. You're proud of your kid, but you don't want to brag like that. But he had a great season, and I think it was really cool, just to see his growth as a racer as the season progressed. I mean, and because I know we talk, but I mean, and me being able to watch the finish line is coming to him too, like learning to drive the finish line. And we all 4 know that that's huge. Jana says it makes Justin lose more hair.
Yeah.
Hey, Jana, I don't think he can lose much more.
He can't.
Hey, Jana, he's another early morning about 6:45 text message that we get.
Yeah, something like that. What time did I text you this morning, Rusty? 4 o'clock?
It was about 4.
I texted you this morning.
It was about an hour. I was up about 15 to 6. I woke up, I looked, and I had a text from Dallas. So, but no, Alden, that was really, really great season for him.
Yeah, I want to chime right there. I mean, I want to brag on Alden for you there, Dallas, because What normally juniors running before foot brakes. I mean, if I was out early, I'd hang around and watch. But there's it's kind of like what we mentioned earlier. There's just certain things you can see people do. They're driving and how they carry themselves and their conversations and I kudos to Alden. You can tell he's catching it, he's learning it, he's understanding it. I mean, I know you got a lot to do with that and your dad and stuff as well, but there again, like Rusty said, I've watched him there on top. I mean, he's not just looking and flat footing, he's looking and doing something in the car. I mean, if keep him interested and keep him going, he's gonna be a handful going forward.
One thing I can add, it ain't just in the car, but like just watching him around you, he looks like he pays attention.
Oh,
like he's really just assuming what's going on and watching your racing and but he's got that drive to win. He's showing.
I mean,
I know he's still a kid, but he just seems like because kids are gonna be kids.
Yeah, I mean, we spent many nights in the floor with Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah,
with piece of tape as a starting line, piece of tape as half track, piece of tape as the finish line, piece of tape as mile an hour lights. Like, hey, okay, this is what's going on here. Like, and we still do. I mean, and I felt like that was the best way I could try to teach him driving the finish line, other than us driving down the highway and saying, okay, what do you do in this situation right here? This is the finish line. What do you do? But one thing I do with him is when I get him, like I pick him up, we get on the golf cart and I tell him that, tell me what happened, like with your run, like, okay, did you take the finish line? How far ahead of him were you? Because, at the end of the day, I tell him that paper doesn't lie. The paper's, I want you tell me and let's work off that. And then I can, but as the year went on, I really saw where he was like starting to get things closer, like he would tell me, I took about a half a car or something. And I look at the ticket and the ticket's like 35, and I'm like, okay, he's picking this up. And like you said earlier about the race slowing down, I think the race has slowed down for him some to where he can actually, see what's going on. So
I'll be honest with you. And we had that one season of 1190 and we jumped right to 890. But I mean, going from him 1190 to 890, that's 3 seconds, 20 mile an hour. That's a huge jump. And to really like trying to get yourself together, and obviously the tree's a different spot, but like you're saying, driving the finish line, I think it takes a while to slow the race down and really like A to B. And then now he's kind of ahead of that now,
Well, I know like the first couple times he ran like 1190 car or slower car, he was like, oh my gosh, he couldn't believe how, like he was like, Dad, I didn't think I was ever going to get there. And then all of a sudden, like I get there really fast.
Yeah, you're on them. Yeah,
you're on them like really fast, So I had to start talking to him about, look, if you're going to get there, you're going to have to be out of it before you get there. Like,
right.
You can't wait till you pass them and then try to tighten the finish line up. At that point, it's too late, But we just work on a lot of things. Like I guess you have baseball parents, and I'm a junior dragster parent, and I'll admit it. I got an issue. Like I eat, sleep, and breathe it. Like, and that's just like. No. Like I got his car all ready to go, and we're gonna try to go test next week. Like, just, and it's out of the way, and but I just I enjoy it. I really do. And if something were to happen, I had to stop racing tomorrow so he could race, it would not it would not change my mind whatsoever to do it. I'd do it right away. So.
So I'm not the only one that rides down the road and practices finish line on the mile markers on the side of the interstate.
And I thought about putting a transbay button in just for the red lights, and then drive the finish line going down the highway. So
one night I don't know if it was Kip or if it was Greg. I was coming down 25, coming back home, and I noticed it was him. Yeah, I about watered the car that I was in up, trying to stop.
I did going back to like that. Like I know, like at VMP, they do like a daily driver, like a winter series daily driver race. Like we need to see if we can get Greer on board one Saturday, like
Alicia,
January or February, and like let's have a daily driver race. I think they have over like 100 entries at this race. Up there, like normally.
Alicia, I hope you're tuning in.
I mean, I feel confident we could probably get 40. I feel confident about that,
Sure.
Yeah. I don't mention it to Mike Greer. We done run it by him to try to do something. But.
I know another moment for juniors was Anna Campfield winning the last time she come to Greer in a junior. Oh, that's pretty cool. I was just trying to think of little highlights. And talking about Will and Adam and Callie, I think 25 is going to look going to look very different. For our juniors, and all three of them. And if I'm missing somebody else, but I know that's the three that I know of. But they've all accomplished so much in their careers. But I mean, with the old guard moving out, you got your up and coming drivers. I'm anxious to see who takes that next step, and steps forward. I mean, you still got. I think with the old guard moving out, you got your up and coming. I believe Hannah Lindsay's coming back for another season. Hudson Edwards will be back, I would assume. Carson had a great year this year. I thought he really did well, and they transitioned into the 890 stuff. But Sherry's talking about it's a great day. That's cool. Yeah, that's a turkey trot race. Okay. But yeah, it's. I don't know if y'all want to touch on the like previewing for next year. I mean, who do you guys think takes that next step? Being those contenders, I mean, as this old guard goes out, I mean, there's several I think can really step forward in the junior class. But
I mean, you talk about the three of them leaving, like it's almost like, like big brothers and big sister going off to college. It's like they're not, they're not going to be around that, and because like Will is really good about like going through the staging lanes and fist bumping.
He's very
everybody.
Yeah, he talks the kids up.
Yeah, he talks, and
it ain't just Kalen and Alden. I've seen him do it. He's very. Yeah. He motivates people, tries to, it's something he don't have to do, at all. But yeah, Callie's always talked to Kalen, we about took her out there this year. But yeah, I mean, and Adam's saying Adam's a quiet kid.
Yeah.
Quiet man child, I guess.
Yeah, he's no kid.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be fun to see for sure. That's
I think it'll be a good year. It'll be a fun year too. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I know going back to what I was mentioning earlier, how some of you watch, or I do. I watch how the kids cheer themselves. And there's more to it than that. I mean, you can do everything right and still not go out there and race and have the results you want. But I mean, Rodney Hyde. I mean, to me, I watch him. You can tell he understands it, and obviously Justin's constant. I mean, Justin's must eat, sleep, and breathe juniors as well. Because I mean, I see him working on y'all's stuff at times. If you got a question, he's one of the ones you can go to that'll help out. So I mean, that's always cool to see. But yeah, it'll be different not having used to seeing there. But I still say Alden and Rodney, and I'd put them two at the top of my list.
I got you. Yeah, I think there's a couple more starting this year. That I believe.
I say, is Fatrabbit gonna get some stuff out there racing again?
I don't know. She's gonna change her mind. I kind of would like to, but then I'm kind of it is work to run a car and do that. It's tough, but I mean, I did it with Willie. We did it, and I sacrificed a lot. Then I would go to racetrack, make time runs, wouldn't even worry about me a time run, and then I last minute might jump out there and make one, and I have not even made a time run, just dial it and go,
Yeah.
So, but them juniors, they are a lot of fun. We complain about the money and the work and the time, but they are so much fun if you can just get to rolling and have a little bit of success, and you see the future, man. I think we can win a race. When you get to that level where you think and then you start winning races, then it's just you're ruined. You chase it and do everything to make it happen for the kid. And I tell you what, there's a lot of life lessons learned over at the racetrack that them kids. And then, I'm in a situation, my kids don't race, and I would love for them to, but when they're going to be 18, 19, 20, we live in this crazy world where they could be out doing the partying or hanging out with the wrong people or whatever. It's nice knowing that, hey, man, they still out here at the racetrack. I mean, I look at people like Shane Maddox, Kevin Brannon, Casey Sims. I mean, I watched all them kids grow up, and they've stayed in it. And it's amazing. But drag racing is something else. This year, it's been more of you realize, we always talk about how it's a family. We all just, like me, my dad, your dad, y'all's dad, your sister, my sister. I tell her, I get aggravated a lot of times, and I'll be like, I don't even know why you even come over here and waste your time. You could be home with your family. I love it. I love coming to watch you. I like, and then, and then I'll buy back and end up winning the race or something, or have a good run, and then, I forget about all that. But, I hate to, and then I'm like, man, everybody's coming over here supporting me, and I feel like I'm wasting their time. And but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And I think that group that we have over there, I mean, as a whole it is, but like our junior kids really do well with each other, and it's cool that they're involved with one another, and they want to come back, and you know where they're at, like you said, and it helps us as parents for sure, because I mean, you think about it, the four of us, that's all we knew growing up. I mean, that's what we did,
Talking about junior drag, like Will, where did Will end up in track championships? Is he the leader of junior dragster? I know we was talking about Adam Tout had won the most track championships.
CJ,
I was just curious.
CJ make it happen for that. I think Will had 4. Does that sound right? CJ might not even be on.
I was just curious.
Here he goes. Here he goes. What you got, CJ? You got 4. Yeah, she got 4 of them. Adam's got 2, 4, 5. That's cool. So we'll have 4, and he'll have 5.
Counting this year, yep.
Yeah. So they'll be tied up, I guess. Yeah.
I was just curious. They've set the bar high. It's gonna be hard to for somebody really to do. I mean, you got to get started early, and you can't wait and get this figured out till you're 12, 13, 14 years old.
Well, that's that would be my question. How old's Kalen and Alden and Rodney? How old are they?
Alden just turned 11.
And Kalen and Rodney they'll turn 13. Kalen turns 13 this month, and Rodney turns 13, I think, February.
Yeah.
So
Carson, I'm assuming he's 11, 10, 11.
I think he's 10.
Yeah, he's 10. Yeah, he's 10. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I didn't realize my mic was muted. Yeah, Travis has 9 as a team owner. That's what my dad always said, because he'd be like, Adam's got 5 in a junior, and you've got 4 in a junior and 1 in a big car. So
he calls it 10.
I've technically have 10 as a team owner. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. We couldn't have done any of it without you. So you need to take as much credit as anybody else does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they're neck and neck, you're saying? He's up 1 on Travis?
As a team owner, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Will's got 5, and then Parker's got 1, so that's 6. Travis has 7, 8, 9. No, Travis has got 10, so they're tied.
Oh, they're tied up.
They're tied. Yeah.
Could 25 be the year?
Yeah. Well, hope Dad ain't betting on me. He better pull one out for himself.
The motorcycle class. Awesome first season. That's one thing I had wrote down. Andrew Patterson, the Ortiz guy, Jamie Sims was a 3-headed monster. I mean, they did great. I mean, I thought Jamie's run down the stretch run he had to close that out was big. I mean, and not to keep on, Andrew has done a lot of different racing, and for him to come local at Greer to try for a championship, that was neat. And that's a talented group. I think they'll get better. I mean, obviously, hopefully it grows.
Hopefully it does. It'd be cool to get like where they could get maybe 6 or 8 consistently. And
for sure. Yeah. So I hope that. Go ahead, CJ.
Can we also just y'all were talking about juniors, and I'm just gonna put this out there, and then y'all can talk about it. Can we talk about how unconventionally Dallas is doing what he's doing with their power plant? I mean, it's just really out of the norm here for what's.
I mean, I talk him up on the low, like it's me and him, but yeah, he's doing a lot with not a conventional.
No, definitely not
setup.
Yeah,
and I will toot his horn. He works super hard, like daily.
Yeah.
Several times a day, every day of the week.
Yeah. I may run home on my lunch break and do something just because I'm thinking about it at that time. Like, I'm bad about that too.
And and then after that, I get a picture message. Look what I've done here.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's just, we had such, I really enjoyed the first year we ran juniors because I had options to run flathead style motors. I think I've owned 3 flatheads and I've never cranked one of them ever. But I got the little Predator Ghost motor from Harbor Freight, and that's what we ran to go 1190, and it ran so good. I really, I was like, man, I think I might be able to make this thing go 890. So then last year that's what I did, and it was, stock bore straight, I still even had a $35 crank in it, and then of course
tell them how much you turn that thing.
It turns about 9,100 RPMs, but we got, I got over 120 runs on it last year, turning that. And when I took it apart, the bearings look good. Wasn't no issues or anything like that. Wasn't no slapping around with the piston or anything. It wasn't smoking. So then this year I was like, let me see what I want to do. I got to do something different. I think I can get more out of it, So of course I put a bigger crank in it and done some head work, and tried to do a little different cam, and I think, I don't know.
So the moral of this story is, if it goes well this year, there's a little more we can do next year.
Oh yeah. Next year we're going to be on. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know it till you try it, right?
You don't know it till you try it. But I mean, I still run it's a Harbor Freight block. You know, I mean,
Justin told me one day, he said, "Look, man, do you realize we probably got 3 times the amount of money that Dallas has got in his that we have in ours?" I said, "Yeah." I said, he started scratching his head. He wasn't scratching his hair; he was scratching his head because there's no hair up there.
But I mean,
he won't run his fingers through his hair.
No.
But I mean, like last year, like I was really surprised. Like it done really well as far as being consistent, you know. And I felt like I really the first, I think it was the second week we went and tested. Like I hit the clutch setup like really like right away, so I didn't struggle. You know, I got really lucky there. You know, and now that I've probably got a little bit more power, I don't know. You know, I'm gonna have to, you know, probably put some weight on the clutch. You know, and that's what I've done tonight. I threw some more weight on the clutch, you know, and because I don't, you know, it's going to zing a little more RPM probably, but I don't really want to turn this thing 9,500, you know, like, but I mean, it's got rocker arms and all that, you know, and
to the moon, baby, to the moon.
It's a little bit different, so for sure. So, but I mean, we do. I mean, like we do everything ourselves. Like Alden helps me build the short block and torque everything, and that's just, you know, so far it's worked. So,
guys, is there anything else that we want to wrap up the 2024 season? Any more highlights you can think of?
I'll tell you what, real quick.
I know the Ortiz guy. He was actually the other week. I went to Shadyside for a testing tune. I made a change on my car, so I tried it out. But anyway, he was actually over there practicing, and to my knowledge, he was in the finals of the Gambler race they had. I mean, he's running against cars and trucks. So, anyway, he I didn't stay to see if he was in the finals, but there again, it sounds like he's got his game together. So, I would expect him to be a contender this coming year if he decides to run points and stuff again.
Yeah. Caleb Diggs. I know he runs TCR. I know he went to the bracket finals and he won.
Yeah.
You know, he won the bracket finals, and which is cool to do. And I don't think this might be the first year he ran TCR.
That's cool.
You know, so I mean, I don't know if he won the track championship or not, but that's cool. I mean, that's, you know.
Did the Philbeck? I think
Philbeck won the track championship, but he went with Union. So then Caleb went with Greer. But I think him and Philbeck run each other in the finals.
Yeah,
the race, and then I think Caleb got him in the main event. So
yeah,
that's another class that I hope can grow for sure. But y'all got anything else?
Just I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for having me on, and thanks to all the listeners for listening to us. You guys do a great job, and tell you what, CJ has really picked y'all's picked the game up big time.
Oh, yeah.
So whatever y'all paying CJ, you probably need to double it somehow or another. So
we
got to get rid of some shirts so we can pay him. We ain't paid him yet.
See,
we behind on
our rent. We are. Negotiations are going to be coming at our holiday at our
Christmas party.
Yeah.
Put on by Justin Hyatt's event.
Yeah, his hair cream. Justin Hyatt hair cream. Oh yeah, that's right. He's got his own
event planning.
Party planning. Yeah. If you want your next party booked, see Justin Hyatt.
Yeah,
he can hook you right up. But seriously, happy holidays, everybody. Obviously, we will not be on until after the first of the year. So we'll get with you guys and let you know when we're going to be on live again. Check the shirts out. We posted them. There should be a form to where you can go in and order. It should be hopefully somewhat self-explanatory. If not, reach out. Another thing, shoot us some ideas if you guys want to see things you want to see for 25. Shoot us some ideas for the people that watch. some new things, stuff you'd like to see get away from. Just trying to keep it as fresh as we can and keep you guys watching. But I think that's all I had. Y'all, Tom, you got?
I'd like to get us some cameras, something we can chunk in these cars in the final round, and I think it'd be neat if you had. I think it'd be neat if we could do something like that. But I know we a lot of times doing our own thing with our racing, it's hard to. But if I could get something, I wouldn't want to tear no camera up, and I wouldn't want it to flop around in somebody's car and tear somebody's, or like a dragster or something hanging, on it and it fall off and.
Well, listen. Paul Mosley's got a dragster for this year, and he always one-handed it. So let him hold the. When he don't need it to burn, he always held the side. Let him hold the camera up. He'll just drive with the other hand. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we were CJ. I think I just was sent a text message. I hate to tell you, but your dad's one down. The Dotson family have 11 championships. Not all at Greer. He got one at Shadyside, so there's 11 championships. So you're going to have to pick it up for the Tapp family this year.
I mean, I won a Carolina Cup championship. Does that count?
Oh, yeah. So we're back tied again, 11. So things are.
If we're going to branch,
I think Will's won. They've actually got 2 at Shadyside, ain't they? Will had a championship at Shadyside too, and Travis had one at Shadyside.
Oh, 12-11.
Well, you're going to have to pick up the game.
What you got, CJ?
I think that's all I got. I think I'm out of bullets. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Unless Adam's got something I don't know about, but no.
You need to get over there and get in the floor with Dallas, them Matchbox cars. Yeah.
Listen, we can have a play date with Gibson and Austin. I need to go and get started now.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing I'm scared of with Austin, I think if he loses, he's going to T-bone somebody turning off the racetrack because he don't take losing well. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Everybody watching. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it.